Morning.
Good morning.
Today is 23rd of August 2024. Today, we're going to talk about new tax incentive from MIDA. We call it incentive for reinvestment. In short, we call it IR. Okay. So before we proceed, let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Koh Teck Peng. I'm an approved auditor and licensed tax agent from KTP Group of Company. With me is Miss Lim. She is our customer relations manager in charge of KTP and our associate company THK.
Yes.
So as I say in the beginning, today we talk about new tax incentive. Incentive for reinvestment, which is just out 30th of July 2024 from MIDA. The guideline is about 3 pages. 1, 2, 3, about 5 pages. You can download from MIDA's. This is very interesting because some of the companies in the past, they had claims pioneer status or investment tax allowance.
Reinvestment allowance.
Yes, I think then there's assorted because most of the times this type of incentive only run for 5 years, or in some cases it can extend it to 10 years. So after the expire of the so-called tax holidays, Malaysia governments, I think welcome more investment, thing like that. So I believe this is a Christmas come early in July 2024. Okay, so before we proceed, the background I more or less has said already, because this had been come out in the budget 2024 under the new industry master plan. We call it NIMP 2030. The objective basically is, remember, this is to promote, to invest in high value, high growth area. Okay, remember, high value, high growth area. So later we will talk about term and condition. You will see that these somehow linked together. So let's proceed. Okay, what are the types of IR? Okay, the most interesting one.
Basically, the types of IR, they divide into 2 tiers. The first tier is that the investment tax allowance, we call it in short ITA. You are 100% qualifying capital expenditure. But this capital expenditure is exclude the land cost, and then it's allowed to offset. First tier is 100% of its statutory income for each year of assessments until it's fully utilized. And then as for the second tier, it's still the same. It's also an investment tax allowance. It's just that first tier is 100%. Second tier is allowed you up to 60% on the qualifying capital expenditure incurred. Both tier 1 and tier 2 is eligible for a period of 5 years.
So I think before proceed, let me brief you some of tax incentive background in Malaysia. Basically, broadly speaking, there are 2 types. One is income based, one is capital investment based. Income based basically meaning if your company is profit, the government will exempt your tax on your profits. So basically, those are companies that are very lucky. For few years, they can untung already. So, but sometimes industry, they require intensive or high investment in capital expenditures, like factories, like machineries, things like that. So in the first few years, the company may not profit. So we call it capital-based incentive. So in short, we call it investment tax allowance. Okay, so meaning if a company invests in $100 of capital expenditures, okay, so the government will give you incentive. Let's say you invest in $100, you're allowed for tax deduction, like investment tax allowance 100% or 60%. It depends on which tier you are in.
Yes.
Understand or not? So basically, if you're $100, you have tier 1, you get 100%, meaning you got $100 investment tax allowance. It's some sort of like capital allowance. Okay? Tier 2 is only for 60%. Okay? You also got terms. Okay? Tier 1's 100% against your statutory incomes. Okay? Tier 2 is on 70% of your statutory income. Okay, so I hope this clarifies everything. Let me summarize everything. It's basically on capital intensive company. As I said before, high growth,
high value.
High value. Okay, you must invest in something. This exclude land. Okay, it fall into two tiers, tier 1, tier 2s. Tier 1, 100% on your capital expenditures, qualifying. Okay, tier 2, 60% on your qualifying capital expenditures. Tier 1, again, 100% of your statutory. I don't say, let's put in income, okay, or profits, okay, for layman people. Tier 2, 70% of your statutory income. So, who is eligible? Who is eligible? Okay, come.
Okay, the eligible applicants must fulfill these 5 criteria. Number 1, the company must incorporated under the Companies Act 2016 and is a resident in Malaysia. So this is the first eligible criteria. Followed by the second one, the company is an existing manufacturing company. Okay, regardless whether previously you have enjoyed or not enjoyed the tax incentive. Then followed by the third one, the company must undertake expansions or diversification projects in the manufacturing sector. Followed by the fourth, any company having a related company has been approved for this incentive for reinvestment under the NIMP 2030 is eligible for incentive subject to the conditions related to the company undertakes in the different products or services. Followed by the last one, the company is eligible for only one round of this incentive for the expansions or diversification projects.
I think let us summarize. Basically, the first rule is always applicable to Standard Berhad. So if you are LLP, you are sole proprietor, or you are traditional partnership, sorry about that. Second thing, manufacturing companies.
Yes.
Okay, in respect whether you claim any tax incentive before, right? Third, you must involve in expansion or diversification, up or down. Okay, it's very similar to reinvestment allowance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they also include expansion, diversification, or things like that. Or RA, they also have modelization, automation. Okay, so this is very clear cut. Expansion or diversification, upstream or downstream. The fourth one is a related company. Okay, the fifth one is very important. Only one round.
Yes.
So you must plan carefully in advance. Okay. The next question is very interesting. You always ask, am I eligible? What kind of industry are you eligible? The whole list, okay? The first question is always says that, are you in manufacturing?
Yes.
Okay, I would say that basically, remember, manufacturing, high growth, high value industries, okay? This include, let me say, aerospace, automotive, chemical, including biotechnology, E&E, electrical and electronic, food processing, halal, machinery and equipment, medical advice, mental, mineral, palm oil, based product, pharmaceutical, petroleum, rails,
Rubber.
rubber-based products, shipbuilding, textile, apparel, footwear, wood, papers, and furnitures. I think this is very familiar to pioneer status or investment tax allowance eligible industry. Okay, so for those who have gone through pioneer status or ITA many years ago, congratulations. As I said, Christmas come early. Okay, for those company, new corp, think about that. If you are in this industry, which I mentioned, please think about that. Try for it. Okay. Then, what are the conditions? Often they have a conditions, right?
Yes.
Huh? I mean, you enjoy 5 years tax holidays. Definitely, there are term conditions. Okay. Remember, we have tier 1, tier 2. Tier 1, 100% on qualifying tax expenditures and 100% against your income. We call it statutory income. Tier 2,
60%.
60% and 70% of your
Statutory income. Yes.
Okay, so what is the conditions? What are the conditions? Okay.
Okay, so the conditions for eligibility tier 1 and tier 2 incentive, basically the minimum one, there's 3. First one, the qualifying capital expenditure, which is exclude the land to be realized within the 3 years. The second one is that the company must, under the adoptions of Industrial Revolutions 4.0 technologies. Then followed by the third one, the R&D, meaning the research and development expenditures. You must involve in R&D expenditures. So this one is the minimum conditions for tier 1 and tier 2.
So I go back to I say in the beginning, I always say it's a high growth,
high value.
High value. Okay. They will look at your capital commitment must be done within 3 years. You must have IR, industry technologies. You must have some R&Ds, things like that. Okay. Then the second conditions.
The second conditions is eligible for tier 1s, which you must have adequate numbers of new full-time Malaysian employee with high value job. Followed by numbers of local suppliers and or local service providers are appointed. Then the third one, you must adopt the green technology, means the generations of the renewable energy or utilizations of energy efficient equipment. And the last one, the other conditions related to sustain the economic development, such as education, social, accelerated Malaysians SME, and given approvals on that.
So the second additional condition is quite strict. It says that you need to employ full-time Malaysians employee. Basically, they only take care of Malaysians. Okay, it can be full-time employees with high-value jobs.
Yes.
Malaysia supplier, Malaysia
service
providers. Somehow they will show that you must adopt some green technology, things like that, and other conditions.
Correct.
Okay. What are the periods? What are the mechanism? Is there any time frames, things like that?
Yes. there's a time frame for that. So company currently claiming the reinvestment allowance under the Income Tax Act 1967. You may options to claim either the reinvestment allowance or this incentive for reinvestment in a particular year of assessment. Then definitely there's a 15 years reinvestment allowance periods. It continues even the company options for this incentive.
I see. So basically, it's like if you have currently enjoying reinvestment allowance in Malaysia, there's a period 15 years, okay? But you still can continue to claim this new tax incentive IR, but definitely mutually exclusive lah. You must choose one.
I don't.
So if you choose IR, definitely the 15 years period, you continue to run, okay? And the second, how to do so? How to do so? Is there any time frame or thing like that? I think, let me share with you an experience, okay? When you do something, please discuss with your tax agent, your auditors.
Yes.
Okay? You know, from my past experience, sometimes we only know the company have invested factories or invested substantial amount on plant and machineries without informing us.
And then they commence the
Okay,
business.
we only know the situations, the investment when we do the audit or when we do the tax. In these circumstances, always remembers in MIDA application tax incentives, they always say that you must apply before the first sales invoice.
Yes.
I repeat, the first sales invoice. Okay? When you come in to do audit, when we come in to do tax, basically it's many years already, many months already. You're out already. Okay? Jangan cari pasal. Okay? Always when you invest substantially, give a call. Okay? Of course, we do out a newsletter to our client to inform them. Okay? But sometimes the bosses didn't read or the account personnel don't read. Okay? So how to apply?
Basically, the applications can now do it online in MIDA portal. Yes, and then the application's effective date is from 1st January 2024 to 31st December 2028. So grab this opportunity if you're eligible under this incentive for investment.
I think we are Malaysian, we almost see most of the government agency or government authority that have gone through online already. Correct. They have digitalized everything already. So likewise, this also apply to MIDA
online portal.
Okay, so please go and check yourself in MIDA portals or you read our newsletters or our social medias. Okay?
Yes.
With this, I summarize it. This is, as I say, that Christmas come early. As long as you are involved in manufacturing industry and the specific, as I say, aerospace, quite a ton, basically it's
18,
everything.
18.
So if you're involved in expansions, if you're involved in diversification project, look into this incentive, IR, which can substantially reduce your tax. And then the best thing is you can enjoy second round. I mean, so some old company or existing company which enjoy pioneer status, investment tax allowance, or even RA, this is new round of incentive. Okay? With this, I say thank you.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Thank you.